This feels a little weird being in front of the camera. Hello friends, this is wishkotheferret. Thanks for hopping into the ferret den where we're keeping things warm, we're keeping things cozy, and for these batch of readings I'm going to do things a little bit differently. So usually you see me at the table rather than my face actually being behind the screen, but you know, trying something new. We're mixing it up a little bit because I do a lot of these and I like being comfy. That's the whole vibe. Keeping warm and keeping cozy. So, Aries. Hi, Aries. Sun, Moon, or Rising, this message could be for you. So drop into your heart space and let the dust settle around you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Let all of that energy settle within and around you so that you can connect with your intuition and determine which messages are for you and which messages are for other people. So while you go into that calming state of mind and dropping into your heart center, I will be saying my prayers. I always say like a general prayer to welcome my guides and my angels into this space, but I also say it for your benefit as well. So this reading is for March 6th to the 12th, and also be aware that it is a full moon in Virgo here on March 7th. So just be aware of that. You can watch the appropriate astrological transits and reports for those on other channels. As I learn more about astrology, that kinds of stuff is coming. And I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, I am working on a Patreon. I'm not really sure when that's going to launch. Hopefully by like the earliest of next month. So if you like my vibe, if you like my style, if you like the way that I mix things up and, you know, the way that I'm doing these things, then go ahead and like and subscribe. If this resonates with you in any way, go ahead and leave a comment down below so you can also keep up with the Patreon updates so that you can support me as a creator. Woo! Okay, let's get started. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for coming into my space, for coming into our space here, for facilitating this connection, and for protecting us. Thank you, angels. Thank you, spirit team. Thank you, guides, for allowing us to connect to the highest love, the highest light, and the highest energies possible, and helping me articulate very clearly, confidently, and with all of the love, the guidance that Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising needs to hear right now. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so this card came out earlier, and I put it back in the deck, but it's still sticking because we also have Bobcat Spirit here, but what popped out was Cat Spirit, which is claiming your independence. We're using, let me hold up this deck for you, the Colette Baron-Reid, the Spirit Animal Oracle. We're going to use that in a combination of Tarot today. So right off the bat, I feel like this is a time of independence for you. Virgo energy this week does carry, especially being a full moon, it carries this big energy of, you know, Virgo energy is kind of meticulous. They do kind of go towards like a self-care type of vibe, and I always feel with Virgo that rest is very important. Our relationship with the give and take in the world is very important in terms of giving to other people and taking things from other people, and also giving and taking from ourselves. So it is a time for me to assess being energetically aware of what's going on, and like in terms of where I'm giving and taking with my energy. So I feel like for some of us Aries in this collective, I feel like you're claiming your independence in this reading. I do feel like that is a big, you know, maybe I can find it or maybe it'll pop back out. But I feel like this is a time to connect with your independence and where you're putting your efforts and where you're putting your energies. Yeah, the card is lost to the ages in this deck. This is a huge deck, by the way. There's like 68 cards in this deck, and I mean, they're very big. I adore this deck. I haven't actually used it in a while. But anywho, there's like a particular situation that you're waiting for answers on. And hold up, let me go grab my dice, because I feel like I want to roll the Astro dice for these ones. Okay, so as you can see, we're keeping it very, very informal. I'm like surrounded by my other decks, and this is like the one thing I didn't bring in. So, boom. So, definitely this is in relation to your first house. And what I feel like for a lot of you, this is taking care of your appearance and taking care of your very physical needs. I know the first house encapsulates other aspects of the self, but in this particular situation, I feel like it is things like self-care, taking care of the energy, taking care of the body for a lot of you in this cycle, Aries. You have Sagittarian energy here, so more fire energy, more bringing on the heat with this. Especially, you also have Mars as the planet, so hot dang. You do have like a very physical. This is like a very physical presence. I think that. As I just heard from Spirit, your abilities are manifesting further. So, whatever that means in relation to you. So Mars energy is very passionate. It can be aggressive. It can be anger. But the positive traits is that we're very driven. We're very focused on the will with Mars. So there's some kind of will here that like you are directing. And Sagittarius, like every time that pops up, I always think of like a goal. Or when you're aiming for a target and you're shooting for it. But it's like maybe some kind of physical goal that you have that you're very determined. Or something that involves a lot of willpower in order to achieve. So what I'm getting from this general cycle is that having a focus on that aspect, focusing on taking care of the body and being very determined in that. So you have the Seahorse spirit, you have Watch and Wait. And I feel like with the Seahorse spirit, I mean, some of you, it's like off the wall here, some of you could be expecting because the Seahorse spirit does not need, like every time I look at the Seahorse spirit, I think of like they don't need, from my understanding, they don't need other seahorses to reproduce, or there's something about seahorses where, and I got to do my research on this to actually confirm, but seahorses have this thing where they can kind of duplicate themselves, or like they don't need the sperm of another seahorse to give birth, or whatever the case may be. And I think they might be genderless. So, if they're like amoebas, I don't know. There's something here about like, I guess the main message here with that is that this could be targeted towards taking care of your body if you're expecting, especially, or like because you're expecting, this could be like Mars is like, it's almost like you're like, the energy is like you are more focused on pushing for comforting things for your body, either taking care of it, strengthening it, or producing some kind of safe environment or safe space to hold your body while you are undergoing these vicious changes. If you're not expecting, this is somebody who, I really feel like for some of you, this is like going to the gym and getting gains. I feel like this could be focusing on your health habits and like the way that you're consuming food and nutrition, but there's some kind of goal-oriented vibe here in terms of your health. So it's just watching and waiting for results. This is having patience in waiting for those results to come. You're not going to see them immediately. And I feel like for a lot of you, whatever this is, you see a community, or you're a part of a community, or you're getting ideas from a certain community, because the Ten of Pentacles is here, and that's kind of where the current energies are resting. I feel like maybe so far you've been a little disappointed with the Five of Cups here, especially in terms of like, I don't know if it's like your progress so far. I'm hearing from Spirit showing off what you can do or showing off what you've achieved so far. I feel like there's a disappointment with how much you've achieved so far. And I think Spirit really wants you to assess with the Seven of Pentacles here in terms of those goals, in terms of those physical goals, or in terms of like, and this doesn't have to be with like your physical body. I do feel like this is your physical body, okay? Like scratch that. I do feel like this is with your physical body. I was trying to see if there were any other messages. I feel like it's for 65% of you, and then for the other 35% of you who really aren't trying to like do anything with your physical body, this is like nurturing your soul and your spirit, and like just tending to the self and being very determined, and going like more of like a self-reflection route, or trying to alter your thinking. I don't see any swords in this reading for you, but I do feel like like whatever the case may be or whatever your goals may be, you're very determined to achieve it. Only you're disappointed with how far you've come, and the Spirit is asking you to assess. The Seven of Pentacles is, I'm hearing, notice what you've lost and notice what you're gaining. So in the positive versus the negative, like I'm hearing that for some of you, this is like a weight thing I'm feeling, like, and it's not like, okay, so Spirit wants you to go about it in a healthy way. And I think you are on your way to developing healthy habits, or that's kind of the path that they're urging you on, is to view it in a healthy way. But to seriously assess with the Seven of Pentacles, kind of what you're doing and gently guiding yourself to make the appropriate changes for like whatever. So like I'm hearing like something about diet restrictions, something about being responsible. This is making sure that your body has the right nutrients. Don't be going down any unhealthy routes. I feel like some of us are actually trying to, like, some of us are nutritionists in this group. I feel like this sign, not Aries sign in particular, but with this energy that I'm feeling called to like talk to, it feels like you guys are like, you're either already like getting into healthy eating habits, or you're looking at like the nutrition, like I'm hearing look at what the body needs. Some of you are already aware of that. Some of you are studying that and trying to figure out how to curate your diet to fit those things. But make sure that all of your needs are being met with the Seven of Pentacles. Make sure that all of your nutritional needs and your physical needs are being met with the self, and that you're not shortchanging yourself, and that you are not consuming anything unnecessary in terms of like excess sugars, in terms of like, I mean, like I'm saying, like for those of us who have a habit of like going to cake and cookies and ice cream and soda and coffee and just doing the most with that, because I do that. Hi. I have Dunkin' right here. I have a coffee, and I was like really frustrated today because I'm not like a health nut. Maybe one day I can be, but I'm not a health nut. And I just find it interesting that things synchronistically happen to me right before these readings, and then kind of help me incorporate things and understanding the energy a little bit more. I feel like there's a lot of judgment with these things. And I know, like, for some reason I had a war with myself. I had a war with myself today about whether or not to get like bubble tea or get a coffee. And bubble tea, I usually put a lot of sugar in it, but for all of a sudden I caught myself in this war of, oh my God, do I consume a lot of sugar or I consume caffeine? Which is healthier? Which is better? I mean, like, because obviously neither option is healthy. But I was like, well, I need a treat, but which is appropriate. And that's just, I mean, I consume all kinds of crap, and I really shouldn't, but, I do. And I just found it so odd. Like that energy was like, this energy of this reading was coming into me before I was even like at the table. But essentially, I feel like that's kind of the war going on here, is that there's judgment for things that you've been consuming, or there's judgment for like maybe workouts or exercise that you have or haven't been doing. But either way, there's a cause of self-reflection. You need to be realistic, and you need to be like, I'm hearing that some behavior is a little concerning, so make sure that you're not being over the top and that you're easing into diets like this, because like Mars energy, like I really feel like you can too easily take it over the top, and that you're maybe overconfident in what you can achieve in the short span of time that you're trying to go for. Give yourself, like, it's just calling for more patience. Because like right now you have Bobcat Spirit, life is a mystery, and you have Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. So it's really calling for you to slow down and take a break. Turtle Spirit's coming to mind with slow and steady wins the race, but Bobcat Spirit says that like, everything's going to happen to you in mysterious ways, and you're not going to 100% know. And this is just this is a weird example that's coming to me, but let's say you gain 10 pounds out of the blue and you don't know why. Your body is still undergoing changes. Your body still has to get used to whatever new thing you're trying. You need to give it time to, pace yourself and see. I'm hearing practice. It's the practice sometimes of eating healthy. It's the practice sometimes of exercising. It's just the practice of slowly going into it, but you never want to go full force, super strict. So I mean, definitely make sure that you're curating, or that you are gravitating towards healthy mental habits that can help you sustain whatever diet or exercise regimen you're doing long term. Dang, this definitely isn't coming from me because I know nothing about this stuff. I don't think I've ever had to look up nutrition stuff or physical stuff, because I try not to, but I've been living a very sedentary lifestyle, and I'm also working maybe to become a little bit more aware of that. So But Brown Bear Spirit is coming in to tell you that you can try again when it's necessary. I don't know why that particularly is coming to mind, but if you mess up or if something's not going the way that you plan, sometimes you need to take a step back, take a break, and try to like plan and get ahead and see where you're going next, because sometimes when you plan for it, or when you do a little bit more research, or when you have a little bit more evidence to sustain whatever theory you're trying to support in this, physical sense, then you will be able to make a more informed decision about how to go about it, how to grow towards this goal steadily. So interesting. And we also have the Hermit here with the regular energy in the current energy. So the Hermit does say to calm the body and come within the self, so that you can, honestly, this is all about making changes, but you're going to need to come to yourself to determine your own values. I just heard don't deflect. I don't know what that means, so that's, interpret that how you will, but don't deflect. This is a very personal experience for you, and the journey is not going to look the same. Your journey's not going to look the same as everybody else's. So keep that in mind. Let me pull, let's see. I think I'm going to stick with this deck of what energy is with you that's going to help make your life easier right now. I was kind of looking over. I don't think I really need anything from my other decks, but I just feel called to, I don't know. I'm really just feeling the vibe of this deck. I haven't used it in a while. Maybe I miss it, but I feel like, I don't know. I don't think anything else is really necessary. So which spirit animal is here to make Aries' lives easier? I just heard the word I'm miserable. I heard the phrase I'm miserable. So this is why that hermit break, that take a time out from Brown Bear Spirit, that's why that's being called for, because Spirit doesn't want you to be miserable. They want this to be a joyous and happy experience for you. I got the chills. I got the chills with this. So the Wombat Spirit, be at home. So they want you to feel safe. They want you to feel comfortable. And the greatest thing that you can do for yourself now is step back within yourself, take that time out so that you can reassess, strategize, come up with a plan, and not be so hard on yourself for perceived failures, because that's not a failure if it's not a fail from, your spirits want you to kind of modify your lens so that you're not looking at your past attempts as failure. They want you to feel safe and secure. They want you to be at home within yourself and to adore what you have, adore what you see in yourself now. You can love where you're at now and still make progress and work towards your goal body weight, or your goal peak physical condition, or your goal mental state. I don't know. I just feel like for a lot of us it's physical, but there's something emphasizing the physical care and your bodily needs. So whatever function that serves, I'm just throwing examples out there, but apply it to your energy however you're able, or however you see fit, and however your intuition is calling you to. But what's going to make your life easier is returning to your home space and assessing what is important to you and feeling at home within yourself. But yeah. I'm going to pull actually from an angel message book. And again, I'm going to leave you real quick so I can grab this book. Angel numbers. Okay. Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. So, I always pull from this book at the end of my readings. I turned it kind of into an oracle by buying dice. And I'm going to leave you with some lasting messages, Aries, from the angels, from your spirit guides, from your team. Anything that Aries needs to know right now to send them off. 3, 5, 3. Oh, y'all. And let me just say that, odd numbers, especially when the threes are I don't know. I follow some spiritual teachers right now who are talking about this 33 portal. The 3 energy is just huge right now. And the 3 is, and I know Spirit, okay, so Spirit's telling me I'm diverging a little bit from the reading itself, but just as a little numerology type of lesson, the 3s are connecting with ascended masters and spiritual teachers, but it's also a time of teaching. It is a time of kind of up-leveling our spirit, and sometimes, this is kind of the energy that I'm feeling from this is kind of the energy that I'm feeling with this reading, is that we are connecting to that, like we are kind of leveling up our energy. Like, so, in a bit, I'm hearing like you'll see progress in a bit, but like you need to come back within yourself. Come back within yourself to determine where to go next. So 353, your guides are encouraging you to move beyond your limitations and take time to face what you need to change in order to grow personally and spiritually. Oh, I'll say it again. Your guides are encouraging you to move beyond your limitations and take time to face what you need to change in order to grow personally and spiritually. So again, when we're focusing on our body and we're growing more than just the body, it does involve the mind and the spirit. It's all interconnected. So with that being said, thank you so much, Aries, for tuning in to this message. I really appreciate your love. I love giving guidance. Thank you for letting me connect with your energy. Thank you to your guides, your angels, and your spirit team for allowing me to connect. And thank you to my guides, angels, and spirit team for connecting. So again, you know, if you like my style, you like my vibe, go ahead, like and comment, subscribe down below, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. I went over it already. I love you, and I'll see you next time.